Hello and welcome to Always Bored, Never Boring. Today I am very excited to bring you a quick start guide to Elden Ring, Rot and Sorcery, two brand new core sets for Steamforged Games' Elden Ring the board game, coming to Gamefound on the 28th of August 2025. I'm here to let you know what you can expect from Machinations of the Witch and Dominion of Rot. Both of these boxes represent new entry points to the game system with new Tarnished, including alternative versions of old favourites, new enemies, new narratives, and unique mechanisms. But you can also use these boxes to continue the campaign that you started in Limgrave, in the Weeping Peninsula, the Realm of the Grafted King, and Stormvale Castle. This requires a Limgrave upgrade pack, which will be free to all backers and available direct from Steamforged Games after the campaign. So whether you are a newly arisen Tarnished looking to experience the game system for the first time, or an existing player well versed in the horrors of the Lands Between, there's something here for you. In this narrative adventure game, you and up to 3 friends will work together to explore the world and defeat all manner of dangerous foes. But first, you need to select a character. Will you be the fast-moving samurai, capable of stringing together swift attacks in brutal combos? Will you be the hero, a powerful juggernaut constantly pushing yourself to the limits and dealing massive damage with your jawbone axe? Will you be the confessor, deftly switching between offensive and defensive stances and using powerful healing abilities? Or will you be the astrologer, using your powers of foresight to ensure you always have the cards you need to unleash devastating magic on your foes? The miniatures you are seeing here are 3D prints, and like everything else in this video, are in the pre-production stages. The prototypes may not reflect the final product, but they already look very good. After selecting a character, you will use a character dashboard to organise your cards. Each Tarnished has a profile card listing starting equipment and stats, a class card with a unique upgradable ability, armour, 2 weapons, and flasks for Crimson and Cerulean tiers. Each of your weapons grants access to a selection of combat cards, and by equipping different weapons or upgrading your existing weapons, you can tailor your combat deck. Just bear in mind, each attack requires specific attributes to trigger. At the start of the game, your Tarnished will have an attribute deck suitable for their starting loadout, but you can modify this attribute deck, making you more effective in combat and enabling you to equip different styles of weapons. Your dashboard also has a space for talismans, traits which level up your stats, temporary combat buffs, and Effigy of the Martyr tokens. Players should also set their starting levels for hit points, focus points, and combat hand size using the nifty tridials. Whether you traverse the lakes of Liurnia in Machinations of the Witch or celebrate Caelid's Redan festival in Dominion of Rot, your epic adventure will span 5 types of scenario. There are narrative scenarios where you will read passages of text and make decisions that will shape how your story unfolds. Often you will be wandering the Lands Between in exploration scenarios, using hex-shaped map tiles. Returning Tarnished will note these have been improved since Limgrave, and now symbols on the tiles have borders that identify their purpose, so you don't need to place any additional tokens. Just lay the map tile and continue your turn. In Liurnia, you will use waygates to travel great distances and uncover secrets that you can employ to weaken the bosses you will face or gain other benefits, especially when exploring the academy. But beware of threats such as the giant crayfish that will use their jets to devastating effect on anyone unlucky enough to be within range. Meanwhile, in Caelid, tread carefully around the rotten Miranda sprout that will cause the scarlet rot to spread across the map. Use your torches to burn away the infection. Otherwise, when you return to this blighted place in the future, you may find the land greatly changed. Let the scarlet rot spread unchecked, and you will find your journey significantly more difficult. Regardless of the region you explore, one difference returning players will immediately identify is there are no longer individual combats. Instead, there is a much richer and more sophisticated hardship system. You will encounter great challenges, especially in regions suffering from scarlet rot, and it will cost you focus points if you wish to face them effectively. Even then, your allies may need to cash in their effigies of the martyr to lend their aid. And of course, there is still no shortage of combat. Your quest will involve 3 types of combat encounter. There are gauntlets, in which the Tarnished face waves of enemies such as the Grim Servants of the Rot and the Kindred of the Rot. There are dungeons, in which waves of enemies culminate in a final boss encounter, and there are boss battles, where you will face the most dangerous foes, such as the Red Wolf of Radagon. This beast is huge, standing on a 100mm scenic base and dwarfing any Tarnished brave or foolish enough to meet it in battle. Combat is an intense puzzle taking place on an abstracted battlefield of lanes and rows, with the bottom Tarnished area separated from the top enemy area by a battle line that no model may cross. Movements in the grid to the left or right represent repositioning to dodge attacks, while movements forwards and backwards represent changing stance based on the effect listed on the right of each row. For example, on this battlefield, if a Tarnished advances to the top row of the Tarnished area, they adopt an offensive stance that lets them draw an additional card when resolving attacks. These effects aren't the same on every battlefield, and in conjunction with varied enemies and abilities, ensure each combat is a unique challenge. Each enemy and Tarnished involved in the battle have an initiative card, and at the start of each round of combat, these are shuffled to create a marching order. This indicates when each model can activate. Note that bosses will have several initiative cards, allowing them to activate more often. When a Tarnished activates, they will normally have 3 actions available. While these include drawing combat cards, drinking a flask to recover hit points or focus points, discarding cards to regain focus points or make basic attacks, and using consumables, most commonly these actions will be used to move one space or attack. When attacking, the Tarnished player selects a combat card, paying the focus point cost if applicable, and determines which enemies would be hit. In the case of the Samurai's backhand slash, the attack will hit the first enemy in the Samurai's lane. The player then draws an attribute card, plus any bonus attribute cards from abilities and critical hits, choosing one to play. Each attribute card has symbols on it, and for each symbol you can trigger the matching effect on the combat card. In this case, the Samurai has an attribute card with 2 dexterity symbols, which means he can trigger the top effect of his backhand slash twice to inflict 4 points of damage on the target. When enemies attack, they follow the sequence of actions on their initiative card, working from top to bottom. They do a standard amount of damage. Tarnished can discard cards to reduce incoming damage by the block values specified on those cards. They can also play 1 defense card, drawing and resolving attribute cards in the same way as for an attack. And those are the basics, but each core set layers new and interesting ideas into the combat framework. In Dominion of Rot, many enemies deal damage based on a Rot intensity track, and they will inflict the Scarlet Rot condition. As Scarlet Rot builds up, Tarnished are forced to add rotten attribute cards to their attribute deck. When these cards are drawn during a combat, they work as a normal attribute card, but also inflict damage on the Tarnished equal to the number of attribute symbols. Meanwhile, in Machinations of the Witch, enemies inflict Frostbite, which prevents movement. Additionally, bosses may have access to spells, which are added to the marching order along with regular initiative cards. If, when viewing the marching order, the boss's initiative cards show the uninterrupted casting sequence shown on that spell, the spell activates and you resolve the top part of the card. Otherwise, you resolve the bottom part. Preventing spells from triggering is vitally important because they really hurt. And this is only the beginning. We haven't even touched on crafting consumables, spending runes to upgrade your weapons and attributes, interacting with non-player characters, summoning spirit ashes, and completing 4 different types of quests: Guidance of Grace, NPC, Spirit Candle, and Region. But I can't tell you every secret that waits for you in the lands between. Some things you just have to see for yourself. Are you ready to uncover the machinations of the witch or survive the Dominion of Rot? Then follow the Gamefound campaign right now using the link in the video description below. If you follow before the campaign launches and subsequently make a pledge, you will receive a free gift of a deluxe dual layer enemy dashboard designed to track the behaviours and spells of enemy bosses. But that is it from me for now. If you liked the video, please consider pressing the like button. If you really like the video, please consider subscribing if you don't already do so, and hopefully I will see you all again very soon. Bye bye everyone, bye bye.